I'm Jocelyn Estrada.
And I'm Maria Martin.
And our segment is on the DMS brand program.
Let's take a closer look.
We've definitely had to adapt with band, just the safety of everything, like getting bell covers for our instruments and trying to stay as far away as possible. It's also weird because we can't have a concerts like we're used to, and starting sixth graders was definitely different, having to recruit once we were at school instead of in the spring like we're used to. But we're adjusting pretty well.
Well, I think it's going to be much better because we won't have to have our masks every now and then, because every time we're not playing, we have to have our masks on. We have to, and we won't have to have those bell covers, hopefully, because that just muffles our sound so much, and it just does not help our playing, because some are just really struggling with the bell covers.
My hope for this year is that despite all the challenges that we're having this year, that the kids can still continue to find, they can still have fun, and they can still find the fun in making music, which is what they ultimately signed up for. So I want them to still have fun and still continue to make progress on their instrument.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, DMS Spotlight!
Hello, this is Amanda Triplett here from the DMS Friday Show on a Friday afternoon with a few of my fellow teachers. And I wanted to just start off by saying that some of the students from the DMS news team thought we should do a follow-up to our segment a few weeks ago on the struggles of online learning for students. And we should give the teachers' perspective about virtual learning. And so these teachers were very nice to stay a little while after on Friday. Ms. Schroeder, could you turn on your camera? I want to know you're doing well. Let's see it, Ms. Schroeder. Thank you. Thank you. Is that you, Ms. Schroeder? I'm so glad you're with us. Okay. So now that we're here to talk together, let's talk a little bit about virtual teaching. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about what is positive and what is challenging about teaching online.
I'll chime in. So when you start with the premise of what this is all about, what the purpose of it is, the positive is, I think we're all thankful for the technology that we have to make this possible in the first place. Had this pandemic happened 15, 20 years ago,
Right.
We would be in a situation where I'm just not sure what it would look like. Would we do school at all? Would education stall? Would education move forward? Would it only be for certain kids? So in that respect, I think that we all can just kind of reflect and be thankful that we have that opportunity.
As a new teacher this year, of course, there were a slew of challenges to add into the mix of learning a brand new platform, learning a new school, learning administrative policies, and then add in all of the change. And so even asking, say, a teacher on the hall, like, hey, I'm confused about this or that, and they're already stretched so thin that it proved to make it a little bit challenging as a new teacher. But beyond being a new teacher, I think the biggest struggle as a science teacher was that so much of what we do in science is touch, feel, and learn the phenomena in a lab setting. And when I have half my kids here on Monday, Tuesday, and half my kids on Thursday, Friday, and I'm continuing the education, I'm not flip-flopping the days. How do I give the same lesson to the kids that are at home when they can't be here to touch and interact in lab. And it's nearly impossible. We designed brand new labs with very specific thought about how can the kids at home also participate? You know, what are materials they guaranteed have at home? And even then, there weren't guarantees because some kids don't have the same home situation as others. And so we found some really amazing ways to make that work as best as possible, but it was challenging and time consuming.
I've come to find, especially as a sixth grade teacher, we already have our own set of challenges with new sixth graders coming in. The time changes and going to different classes and the responsibility aspect that, like, eighth graders, you have some, but it's not as bad as kids having to learn how to change classes and do schedules. And then we had to do on top of that our virtual kids who've never had to do that, and they have to figure out how to use the Zooms, and then also how to switch classes, and they have to have that responsibility aspect that this isn't elementary school anymore. You have to get your work done and you have to do it on time. And I'll mirror what Mr. Lee said. One of the biggest reasons I became a teacher was the personal connection side of this. And I feel like I'm doing, and he can also probably attribute this too, in social studies, especially when we get to the history lessons, so much of it is direct instruction. And it's hard to teach the entire Holocaust in a PowerPoint or a 3-minute video that the kids can watch. So kids who are missing that are having a really hard time catching up, or if a lot of it's annotation when I give my lectures. So I often let my virtual kids go halfway through the class, and then if a kid in class brings up a really good point and I share that with the class, then my virtual kids are missing out on that. But I have found that a positive for this is a lot of my kids who might struggle in class are doing a lot better virtually at their own self-paced, and I have a lot of good kids who are getting on, doing what they need to do, and are finishing it on their own time because they might be ahead of the class so that they can work ahead, or below the class, they can take more time during the day to do it. But I think even in class with all the social distancing, I feel like the sense of community in my classroom isn't what it was last year with my kids. We were constantly doing projects and constantly doing this, and all the kids knew who each other were, and it was hugs and high fives and stuff like that. And even now we have to limit that. So I feel like a lot of the kids are missing out on, especially for their first year of middle school, they're going to assume like they're not getting the true middle school experience.
Well, I appreciate you guys giving us the feedback so that we kind of see the other side of it from our students. We know that they struggle learning online, the online world as well. And I appreciate you taking the time after school to talk to us. And we'll continue doing our best and hope that we can reach as many people in the way that works for them as possible.